मरने से पहले भी मैं था किसी दूसरे लोगों को याद करूं या ना करूं, आपको जरूर याद करके मरूं।
क्या कह रहे हो अंजलि आप?
सच में यू आर वेरी वेरी स्पेशल फॉर मी। यू नो, बीइंग अ ट्रांसजेंडर कितना तकलीफ होती है, कितना मुश्किल होते हैं, लोग अपॉर्चुनिटीज नहीं देते, नहीं मिलते हैं। तो आप ही एक ऐसे इंसान हो जिसके वजह से लाइक लोगों को जो थॉट्स है वो चेंज हो सकते हैं, उसके वजह से किसी को भी आगे बढ़ने को कितनी हिम्मत देती है। आप इंडस्ट्री में 10 साल हो गए, मैं नेपाल में 2009 से 16 तक किया, यहाँ 2017 से कर रही हूँ। आज तक मैंने ऐसा कहीं भी नहीं देखा। यू आर द ओनली फर्स्ट पर्सन जो सब कुछ एंड सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं।
What's been your biggest struggles being gay and growing up in India?
So, you know, I think this one's a really hard one to answer, just because, as I was mentioning earlier, there's a lot of rejection that goes into defining who we are. Like, the world is rejecting you. And I think especially as queer individuals, we're rejecting ourselves as well. And like, spit on me, people trying to hit me, stuff like that. It's scarring, but more than those specific instances, I think what was impacted was my perception of love, my perception of dignity, my perception of potential. And I think it was finally coming into, I think, really like taking all that rejection and just turning it into acceptance allowed me to, you know, be there for myself. And I think in the process, like, the world around me has changed.
When did you realize that you were not identifying with your gender earlier?
Actually, I came to the realization of the term trans male, that it's a particular term. So I came to a realization 1 year ago when I saw this person. I was really inspired from this person, and I heard their life story, and it completely changed my life from them. Like, I could relate to their story so much that I felt like it was my story. And that's when I came to the realization that, okay, I had this all wrong from the childhood.
Icons when I was growing up were like Paris Hilton and Misha Barton, who were like skin and bones. And now when I look back at pictures of myself from when I was young, I'm like, oh my God, I was so skinny. What the hell was I crying and cribbing about? And what the hell were people like, you know, taunting me about? But then I realized that at that time, you know, icons, the icons that existed and that were people that, you know, my generation of people looked up to were Paris Hilton, who were like literally like skin and bones. And it was impossible for me to be like that. But I tried so hard, and I always thought like I wasn't thin enough, and I was called names, and like I heard boys like telling other guys like, oh, you know, if she was a little skinny, I would like date her, but she needs to lose weight. And that was like heartbreaking, you know.
Who's always doing her thing, who's in her own world. And then I think when this came along, I was a bit conscious, and, you know, it did alter my personality a bit in the starting. I'm not going to, you know, lie and say, oh, it's always been very easy, and it's always been, you know, I've always been this confident, amazing person. No, you know, it's taken me a lot of courage to be the woman I am today. And Vitiligo has definitely helped me become the woman that I am today. And the way I've dealt with it, it definitely needs strength, man. I mean, you know, because it's something you can see it, right? It's not, you're not dealing with, it's not something like mental, you know, illness where you're hiding it, or, you know, where people can't see it. People see it. They point out. You're out there shopping for groceries, and they're like, oh, what's that? And you're like, man, I'm just here to buy my milkshake. Like, just let me be, right?
Growing up, I've always been like a fuller body woman, girl. Like, I've never been thin a day in my life since I was born. So, you know, now I might look a little whatever, but when I was growing up, I was always quite chubby, and people would make fun of that in school. And I don't know if it was like a natural defense mechanism, or the fact that I really wanted, like, you know how you call maze? Like, I wanted maze out of life. So I was like, okay, it just kind of naturally lit in me, and I became very humorous. I tried to hide everything behind humor. So whether it was, to do with distress or whether it was to do with humiliation, I would try and kind of hide it behind humor. And I almost became like the class joker. And somewhere that started giving me strength that, like if you have so many facets, and if it's fine, like let them make fun of your body, but how much they love my company. So as a child, that's as much as you can think, because you haven't heard the concept of body shaming or humiliation. This is like at an age of like 6.
Such a funny incident happened with my brother. So I told him that, "Bhai, I'm gay." So he looked at me and he's like, "Mujhe na bachpan se pata hai." I'm like, then why am I hiding it?
That happens. That happens a lot. That's true.
Yeah,
And
our relationship is for 5 years, and I think we've been staying together for 4.5.
oh my God, it is so
Yes.
moved in 6 months.